For more on carbon reduction in China, let's bring in Changhua Wu in Shanghai. She's chair of the Governing Council of the Asia Pacific Water Forum. Thank you so much. Always great to see you.
Thank you.
So we're hearing about these carbon tickets and carbon banking accounts. This is literally public buy-in. I want to get your thoughts on these different methods and if you think they seem to be working so far.
Well, the Summing case in Fujian province has definitely made the case. The case is that we will be able to, on one side, to capture carbon through the carbon forest, the carbon sink function. But in the meantime, we'll be able to deliver economic benefit, livelihoods benefit to local communities. But also, equally important, we are protecting nature, and particularly under the banner of Global Biodiversity Convention. And we set all the targets, and on one side, our nature protection, on the other side, we need to decarbonize. But very importantly, the people's benefit, the livelihoods also coming into that picture as well. That's, the case itself definitely presents a great case made already that's really addressing the three bottom line of sustainable development, which is about the economy, environment, and society that could come together and work very nicely.
And when it comes to the banking accounts, 15 million accounts opened and reducing carbon by more than 90,000 tons. I mean, it sounds like a lot. Is that a method that you think can be used all over China, different parts, not just in some of the bigger cities? What more do you think can be done?
Well, the case itself, as I said, is proven basically saying individual companies and individual persons, each of us, can participate in that process and to chip in our contribution, really understanding the nature of decarbonization agenda while protecting nature and improving local livelihoods. The approach methodology itself definitely can be duplicated, it can be scaled. But in order for things to work out that way, the design and development of the scheme needs to be very locally specific. And as the case made already in Fujian province, it's a specific area of a forest area that bringing in the companies, private sector by reforming the ownership, collective ownership. And in the meantime, really tapping into the carbon market trading, particularly the newly adopted China carbon emissions reduction scheme, which is a voluntary, carbon market there. So that will work nice together. But as I said, very importantly, the starting point is really the design, and not only the scheme itself, but also institutionally, so that all the enabling contexts will be really designed, developed, fit for purpose in order for approaches or mechanisms like this to work out anywhere, actually, throughout the country.
What about anywhere in the world? Are these methods that can be replicated in other countries? And how would you rate China overall so far in its fight to reduce carbon?
Well, I think overall, it could be scaled anywhere, actually. As I said, globally, we do have this agenda for global international carbon market trading, which is a complex system, trying to connect with the different markets there. It's complicated technically, but for things like this, actually more like a bottom-up sort of approach that definitely can be deployed anywhere. Again, as I want to emphasize the importance, it has to be locally designed, locally fit. Now, back to the bigger picture of China's endeavor in terms of decarbonization. We set our targets already. We are on track to capping the emissions before 2030 and aiming for carbon neutrality before 2060. In that context, China is definitely on the road already. But as the case we're talking about here today, besides the production generation side, we have to really gear up the efforts of individual consumption side, sustainable consumption. So schemes like this, it's an innovative way, and there are many other ways we need to figure out how to mobilize the whole society, every individual in that course to participate, to chip in, so that we'll be able to really address the challenge. As I mentioned earlier, 2/3 of the global emissions actually come from consumption. And this is the biggest chunk of the opportunity, the challenge, of course, but very importantly, very encouragingly, we can innovate, as many cases made already, particularly in this case, this Fujian case definitely is a great case to promote, to put more signs of hope on the map, so that we'll be able to accelerate the decarbonization process to fight climate change while protecting nature, while improving people's livelihoods.
All right, Changhua Wu, thank you for joining us. We always enjoy getting your take. Appreciate you joining us from Shanghai. Thank you.
Thank you, Elaine.